So it all comes down to perspectives, doesn't it? I mean, for some, the glass is half empty. For others, it's half full. And for yet others still, it's time for the glass to be topped off, and where's my bloody waiter? Hello again. My name is Blaine Shields, and I want to welcome you to the podcast formerly known as Casting Pods, relinquishing that title to become the nameless podcast, at least for now, for the present time being, hereto titled Chatting with the Voices in My Head. And if that sounds crazy to you, you should just prepare yourself for the kind of stuff that I roll out on here. So sit back, relax, and feel free to like, subscribe, and comment, and chat, and whatever else people do about these kind of things. Perspectives. Why is it that's so difficult for people to see different perspectives of things? It's all my way or the highway, and if you think differently than me, then you are forfeit your rights, unoriginal, and not worthy of the air that you have been supplied. I mean, you don't have to go far to see it. Check the feeds on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and so forth. Watch the news. And when someone says, I am voting for blank, fill in the blank with any politician or any name of any person in particular, immediately the hate ensues and everyone clamors after whatever the most divisive language might be for the day. Be it, then you're a racist, a misogynist, a pedophile, an albatross, a Nazi, an orc, a terrorist, a therapist, or any other number of insults that one might throw out. And then it comes down to calling for canceling people out based upon their views or their opinions or their votes. Wow. And I thought that this was the melting pot, not the cesspool. But here we are, perspectives become divided, and rather than working together, conversing together, coming together to find resolve or understanding or to learn from where one another are coming from, we put up a wall. Let me ask you something. What is learned or gained from throwing out hatred? Is there growth, understanding, encouragement, help, upliftment, or any form of good? No. What there is would be a promotion of fear and a driving wedge between people. Perspectives are good. I grew up a certain way. I learned things in a certain school. I was raised in a certain home. I had friends of varying types, and along the way, the history of my life and the connections that I had helped to form my perspectives. But when I meet people from different perspectives who see life differently than I do, and I fail to communicate, and that doesn't mean that I just openly accept everything that they say is right and convert my way of thinking because of it, but rather that I learn from what they say because their perspective is valid and is formed by the life they have led and the contacts they have made. I don't cast hate upon them and walk away because they see the world differently. If we dialogue, listening first and then speaking, we can grow. In many ways, it's like noticing that the glass can be both half full and half empty at the same time. Sometimes it's a matter of seeing that there are things that we can't budge on, but other things that we can, called compromise, something that our politicians could take note of. And sometimes it just means that we don't see the perspective of the other person, but we can appreciate more the way that they have come to it. Perspectives are good. It's part of diversity, and diversity makes the world so much better. I like maraschino cherries, but if every drink and every food was maraschino, I would tire of it at some point. Not to mention all the other people who either don't like maraschino cherries or don't like them nearly as much as I do, who would be sickened by the thought of being a lack of choice of preference. I mean, the nerve of anyone making everything maraschino. I can't even imagine being faced with the choice of only a drink of maraschino gin with a maraschino cherry and a slight pinch of maraschino juice to flavor the drink. No, just no. Rather than spending our time condemning and damning folks for their perspectives, calling people idiots, fools, and worse, rather than canceling out people for their perspectives, maybe we can work together to discuss perspectives and choices and come to understand one another better. We may find that we may change their attitudes and minds. We may find that they change ours. And maybe, just maybe, we can convince our leaders and our representatives and the world at large that we can work together when we decide to work together, rather than driving each other apart. Love over hate every time. And of course, a parting joke about perspectives. There was this traveling salesman who was on a lonely country road on his way home one night when a huge storm came up. He saw a little farmhouse up the road and he headed for it. He knocked on the door and the farmer answered. The salesman asked if he could take shelter from the storm inside his house. The farmer welcomed him in and put him up for the night. In the morning, the kind farmer served him bacon and eggs, and the salesman was extremely thankful for the hospitality. On his way out, the farmer walked him to his car, and the salesman saw a pig with 3 legs go past. The salesman asked, "Why does the pig have only 3 legs?" "Well," said the farmer, "that's one special pig." The salesman asked why he was so special. The farmer said, "Well, one night a fire broke out on the house, and the wife and I were sleeping. That pig broke through the door and made such a racket that it woke us up and saved our lives." The salesman said, "Wow! But why does he have only 3 legs?" The farmer said, "Well, that's one special pig. Another time my son fell into the well, and that pig came running at me and squealing and led me to him so I could rescue him." The salesman said, "Yes, he sounds very special. So why does he have only 3 legs?" And the farmer replied, "Well, now, son, a pig that special, you don't just eat all at once." Stay awesome, my friends. You are loved and you are special. More special than a 3-legged pig. Cheers.